Hello everyone. So welcome to Tea with Sparxsys. In this session, let us go through some of the updates from the Atlassian ecosystem. Now, the first update I have for you today is about this documentation or this section or announcement on the Atlassian community about transition to Jira Cloud. Now, we all know that most of the companies have either already migrated to cloud or they will be moving to cloud. And I think in the next few years, almost every organization will have to move to cloud. I mean, it may be almost everyone, or maybe few remaining companies, customers might just stay on data center. It really depends. It really depends on whether we will have Jira data center or not. But what Atlassian is trying to do, Atlassian is of course trying to also help users. Now, when it comes to end users, Jira Cloud is of course is different, and I struggle with it because when I work with my clients, I have to work very closely with my users to tell them, help them, coach them on how they can survive on Jira Cloud. And it is not easy because Jira Cloud is actually a different tool. It is, of course, fundamentally things are same, but the UI is different. There are a lot of different features. And I think what Atlassian is trying to do, Atlassian is trying to help by creating this separate documentation section called as transition to Jira Cloud. Now, if you go to this section, I think it is nothing but different links together, and the basically idea here is that you can go through these links, courses, I guess, to just understand how Jira Cloud works. And I can tell you from my experience, no one has time to, at least the end users, they don't have time. They will never really bother reading documentation. I think it will come with time or usage. Let us say today you move a company who has been using Jira Data Center, Jira On-Prem for 10 plus years. Their users are used to doing things on Jira Data Center. Now, if you suddenly move them to Jira Cloud, it won't be straightforward because they will complain, they will struggle, they might not find their way of working. I mean, of course, you can have the same workflow, you can have the same issue types in Jira, you can configure your project to have same schemes or similar schemes, if not exactly the same, but still, the adoption will not be straightforward. And I can tell you that what you should do if you are responsible for these tools in your organization. I think you should work very closely with your users, make a plan, have some kind of a weekly Jira clinic or workshops. So you have to basically work regularly. And I think this particular page where you can find, or this section where you can find different links or courses can help. And I think Atlassian is trying their best to make sure that people are able to transition to Jira Cloud. But I think you should make a plan. And when I say you, I'm talking about stakeholders, I'm talking about Jira admin team, I'm talking about Jira consultants, right? And if you are struggling, by the way, or you're going to move to Jira Cloud and you're not really sure how things will work out for you, reach out to us. We can definitely help you. At Sparxsys, we do these things quite a lot. Okay, so this is about Jira Cloud, transition to Jira Cloud. The next thing that I want to talk about is really interesting update. Now, this update is about linking your assets to Jira issues, work items in your description and comments. Now, we all know, and I mean, in case you don't know, I mean, I'm just assuming that you all know. So, assets is a feature that you get with Jira Service Management. And asset, if you don't know, is basically a way to have CMDB within your Jira Service Management. Now, when I say CMDB, I'm talking about configuration management database. Now, imagine someone is raising a ticket, and the ticket is all about my laptop is not working. Now, what if that particular person who is raising a ticket can select their laptop or their devices, right? So, in Jira, if you want to have some kind of a database that you may want to link to your Jira issues, you can use assets. You can use assets for keeping track of your servers. You can use assets to keep track of your contacts, like for doing mini CRM, like lightweight CRM. So you can actually use assets for a variety of use cases. Now, I don't like the way assets work with Jira Service Management only. I think it should come with Jira as well. I think assets should be like a separate product or an app because it is good. And assets on data center is different from Jira Cloud. And on Jira Cloud, I think Atlassian is trying to improve it regularly. And this update is actually about inserting your asset and live asset or embedding your asset within your description. Imagine you raise a ticket and you go to your description and you type here /assets. It will then let you insert your assets. And the way it will work is, I believe it will be like your Jira and Confluence links. You can, of course, insert Confluence links within Jira or Jira links within Confluence. And those links are not just hyperlinks. Those are basically live links. You can actually see the information. Like when you paste your Jira links in your Confluence, you can see the status of your Jira issues. And I think this embedding of assets within your description and also comment will be something similar. So I quite like this, and I'm really happy. I think I should probably talk about assets a bit more. We do use assets, by the way, a lot, like for our use cases. And on data center, I have done work with Insight a lot. Insight was basically, or even right now. So basically, assets was nothing but a plugin called Insight from Riada, I believe, and Atlassian acquired it. And Insight used to come with agents for doing discovery of your network. And it was amazing. It was, really good, right? Like you can do wonderful things with insights, with assets. But on cloud, things are slightly different. But it is good to know that, these things are coming to Jira Cloud. All right. So the next update I have for you is also interesting. I mean, this week I'm happy. There are so many interesting things happening with Atlassian tools. Now, this update is actually about forms. Now, recently I worked with a client where we designed a Jira Service Management project for them for Service Desk. And when it comes to Service Desk, of course, you can use different fields to capture information and have those fields available on the request type that you can expose on the portal, but you can't really create a field for everything, right? Sometimes you just need to capture the information in a structured way, but you don't really want to create too many fields, and I think you should not. And I think in those cases, having a form could be useful. Now, what you can also do is when you have these forms, you can also automate. I was not really aware of the automations with forms, which is really good. So I'm quite happy to see these automations. So basically what you can do is you can have, I was looking at the update, you can actually have some automations based on what you do with forms. For example, in this use case, it says here whenever a worker is added to Workday. I don't know if there is a Workday connector. I don't think so. Maybe it is there already because Workday, I use Workday, by the way. Workday is basically a tool for keeping your employee information, right? Like a HR management system. Now, whenever a worker is added to Workday, you may want to provision something. You may want to have your onboarding process in Jira, right? You can do these things. Now, I can see here that in this example, Atlassian is saying that whenever a work item or issue is created with a request type, basically on the service desk, you may want to attach a form with some pre-filled values, and those pre-filled values can basically come from Workday, right? or I believe assets as well. So this is good. I was looking at the update here, and this update is saying that this update is talking about different things that you can do with forms, and it is really interesting because I never use forms with automation rules. Maybe I need to do this. Maybe I need to try it out. So you can of course have your automations based on these forms. I can see things like when on the right hand side I can see here form is attached to the issue type, when form is edited, when form is submitted. So basically you can capture those events, form based events like form attached trigger, form open for edit trigger. Maybe you want to change the status of the form, right? And you can also access like form values using smart values. I guess access smart values using form submitted. Okay, this is good. This is really good. I think there are so many things. I never really tried it. I was not even aware of it. So maybe I learned something today as well, along with you. And I should have tried it, by the way. I do use forms, but I had no idea that forms can be accessed using these automations. So really looking forward to try it out. But yeah, this is interesting. This is lovely. Go ahead and try it out. I tried it, by the way. I couldn't find it on my Jira instances yet, these triggers or these actions, but maybe it is still coming. But if you're able to, then go ahead and give it a try. Or maybe it is only with the premium version. I don't know, because I have one cloud instance where Jira software is premium, but not Jira service management. I think you can have that, right? So not really sure if this is possible, but yeah, I do have like one more client. I'll check their instance. But okay, this is really interesting. Quite happy with this. All right, so let us talk about some other things. Now there is an event happening. Let us talk about the upcoming event. And this upcoming event is happening in London. I think next week I might be there. So this event is about BBQ. Like I guess there will be some barbecue, and the session will be about DevX, unifying tools, teams, and priorities. And this event is happening in Adaptivist office, and I can see people from AppWire. So yeah, this looks like an interesting event. Maybe I will go there. I don't know. It's Wednesday, I believe, July 16th. And I think it is Wednesday. So July 16th is Wednesday next week. So I might be there. Let us see. So I thought I'll probably let you know. And also keep an eye on the Atlassian community events, by the way. If you go to Atlassian community events, you can find different events based on different topics and different locations. Now, I have plans to attend few events in near future, and I will definitely let you know. Keep an eye on my YouTube updates or my LinkedIn updates. If you're not connected with me on LinkedIn, go ahead and try it out. And by the way, we also have like a WhatsApp channel where we share updates. You'll find the link in the description. Don't worry about it. All right, so let us move on and talk about the blog of the week. So this blog is something that I wrote many years ago, and it is about automation. Let us talk about automation again. Now this blog is about how to access Jira issue data, but not the actual issue on the fields, but from the history. Now almost every other day when I work with my clients, they want to do something, they reach out to me with requests and use cases related to something to do with the history of issues. Now, of course, we all know that in Jira we have change manager where we can fetch the history. And of course, you can go to an issue and you can see what is happening or what has happened on the issue, right? But what if you want to use that information somewhere in a report? Maybe you want to use that information to report on something. A few weeks back, I had to dig in the change history to do some fixes in Jira. So change history is actually very important, and it is great that we have change history. Unfortunately, there is no change history of comments yet, but I'm sure Atlassian will do something about it in future. But for each and every issue, if you update something, there is a change history where you can see and look at what changed and when. Now in this particular blog, I shared how to fetch the details from the change log. And you can do that using REST API, and you can also do that using automation rules in your Jira Cloud instance. If you are on Jira Data Center, then you can do a lot of wonderful things using a script runner, but fortunately on Jira Cloud as well, you can do it. And this blog will definitely help you. By the way, if you go to my section, like my website, and there is a section called, there is a course called Mastering Jira Cloud, you will find a lot of videos about automation, Jira Cloud automation, but you will find a couple of examples here to learn about history, like how to interact with history of your, oh yeah, there is one video. So if you look at this, oh yeah, I think it's the same post, by the way, but in my, like if you go to that particular course, you will find a lot of videos where I talked about how to make a REST call. And it is very important to learn how to do it in Jira. Okay, so yeah, the last thing that I want to talk about is this new video that I recently posted. On my channel, and this video is about skills, 14 skills that you should consider learning if you want to become an ultimate Jira technical consultant. And I shared my experience. So if you want to become a consultant like me, and if you want to make sure that you keep on growing in your career, especially when you want to develop your skills as an Atlassian consultant, when you will be working with clients. So I talked about these skills that I think will help you, and you should consider, learning these skills. Of course, I'm talking about 14 skills. It can be 15 or it can be 5, but hopefully it will give you some clues and ideas. And yeah, that is it. That is it about today's video and this session. In case you're new, we post these weekly updates related to Atlassian updates, Atlassian ecosystem on Sparxsys channel. We also have Spotify. We are also on Spotify. We have a podcast there. I mean, you will find us on Spotify if you go and search for my name, Ravi Sagar. You can actually listen to these updates as well. And also, these updates that I'm talking about, you will of course find the link in the description, but you can also get these links or these updates in your mailbox. So just subscribe to our newsletter. So if you go to ravisagar.in/newsletter, you can find all these updates. And the last thing that I want to talk about is that we are always hiring at Sparxsys. We always have openings, which is a good thing, right? So if you're looking for a job, if you want to develop your career into this Atlassian ecosystem, maybe you are already an Atlassian consultant, maybe you are a Jira admin, do reach out to me and we can discuss. So don't worry about your experience level. You may be a fresher, you may be someone with 5 years of experience, maybe 10 years of experience. Do reach out to me and we can discuss the possibilities of working together. All right, so that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this session. I hope you enjoyed watching this session and listened to this session, and you also learned something new today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.